Hey everybody, it's Steve here and welcome to another episode of the Blockchain Homestead. So today's Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. I'm newly single, so I'm not going to be celebrating Valentine's like I normally do. I went to a yoga class and focused on opening of the heart, and that was great. It was a great class. So if you ever go to Asheville Community Yoga, Michael's class at 6 o'clock is pretty spectacular. So thank you, Michael, and thank you to the Asheville Community Yoga crowd. So today I want to talk about, the market looks like it's turning around finally. I think with the volume and the price action, I think we've seen the lows. There's a trend. I'll give you the international symbol for trend there. The upper channel trend line was breached today, I think, or just about breached today by Bitcoin. So we need to look and see as we break above it and come back down. We always test, or almost always you'll retest a trend line before going up to new highs, which is what I think is going to be happening. We're going to be going to new highs in the next 6 to 8 weeks. And I do mean new highs, like 20,000, above 20,000 in the next couple of weeks. So, but what I want to talk about today is there was some really big news, some really exciting news in the crypto space, and I think this portends well to the fact that we're going to be breaking to the upside and not breaking to the downside if when we test this channel line. So the news I'm going to get to in a second, but I want to pick apart some typical FUD that you're going to hear, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And these are some myths. We talked about Ponzi schemes and things like that, but I have 3 that I want to talk about today really quickly, and then I'll leave us with a Valentine's message. So the first here, I don't want to give it away too soon. The first one is it's just ones and zeros, right? It's a digital currency. It's just ones and zeros. This is true. It is, in fact, just ones and zeros. So, I mean, there's that. But that's not exactly a negative. So something I want you to consider is that when you send your credit card payment or mortgage payment to your bank, or when you send your mortgage payment, like a Freedom Mortgage, if you send your mortgage payment to Freedom Mortgage, your bank, Wachovia in my case, doesn't actually box up a box of cash and then mail it over to NationStar. That's just not how that works, right? They actually use digital transactions. They use a digital form of the U.S. dollar. In fact, if you look at, if you don't know much about the international monetary system and Bretton Woods and then taking us off the gold standard, you should really look into some of these things because it helps you put everything into perspective. So if you really want to understand money supply, how many US dollars are in circulation, quote unquote, right? Circulation. There's M1, there's M2, and there's M3. Actually, they don't even publish M3 anymore because it was being inflated so ridiculously. But there's paper and currency. And then there's all the other types of dollar, all your credit card accounts, all your savings accounts. Those are all digital. There's not that much cash in the system. So most of it is all digital, and it runs on something akin to the blockchain. It's just that they control all those back-of-house operations, and they control all that information, which is why you pay them, right? You pay them for the trust. But it's a closed loop sort of thing. It's a closed system. And thus, anytime there's a disparity in knowledge, you can control people. So just throwing that out there. So it's not. So it is just ones and zeros, but that's not really a reason not to invest in cryptocurrencies. Our next myth, and we'll see if we can. Here we are. No intrinsic value. So intrinsic value, you'll hear this one a lot too by the naysayers. And again, I'll point them to the U.S. dollar. Well, what is the intrinsic value of a U.S. dollar? It's just a piece of paper. It's a Federal Reserve note, right? And a note is something specific, right? A note is a debt instrument in legal parlance, or parlance, I guess. So this idea that there's, this form of money out there that has intrinsic value is an anachronism, or an anachronism. It's just not the way the modern monetary system works. It's all fiat, it's all paper, not backed by anything. So there is really no intrinsic value. I would argue instead that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have intrinsic value because they are encrypted and they're efficient. And in today's marketplace, in today's business environment, efficiency is a commodity. If you can do something more efficient and with less cost or less time than another competitor, that is value. If you're selling an app or you're selling an idea to a company that saves them lots of money, that has intrinsic value. So again, that's one myth that I just don't ascribe to, that it has no intrinsic value. I think Bitcoin does have intrinsic value, actually a lot more than the fiat. And my last one, which ties into the news I'm going to bring up real quickly, you can't spend it. Hey guys, why are you doing all this? You can't spend it. Well, that's just false, right? You can. People have been buying houses with Bitcoin. People have been buying Lamborghinis with Bitcoin. There's actually car dealerships that will accept Bitcoin. Overstock.com has been accepting Litecoin for quite a while now. But it is also true that there is no widespread, widely adopted method of payment using cryptocurrencies. There's Centricard is coming out. BitPay, I think, has a credit card. Jonathan has one. I saw one the other day. That was awesome. That's really cool. Made me quite jelly because that's really cool. And he bought a baritone saxophone with it, which is awesome. But so you can't spend it. Well, I don't know if you caught the news today, but there was an article on. I know I saw it on the Medium. I don't know where else it was published. But Coinbase just came out, launched today, February 14th, Valentine's Day. They launched Coinbase Commrece, and it's a web plugin that allows you to use your cryptocurrency account at Coinbase. So that would be Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash for now. You could use those accounts to pay for things online. It's going to allow the widespread adoption of cryptocurrency payments into the system. More businesses will start to use it and offer the wallets, offer the widgets there on the side when you're going to pay. That will get more publicity, more network effect, Metcalfe's law, and off we go. So this is something I've been waiting for. Charlie Lee had hinted to some payment processors. I don't think this is it. I think there's still something with Visa and MasterCard to be announced in the spring. But this is amazing. Although this could be the online retailer that he was mentioning, working with eBay. Because if eBay signs on, and that's part of the rumors that eBay is going to be signing on to this Coinbase Commrece, that's just going to be amazing. So, especially if you can get paid in cryptocurrency. I'm not sure how that works. But man, if you could use eBay and get paid for cryptocurrency, Severian, if you're listening, with your record collection, that's the ticket right there, my friend. So there's all that. So one last thing for Valentine's Day. As I mentioned, I'm newly single, so I'm not celebrating in my normal fashion. But as you can see, I'm home alone on Valentine's Day. But what I would like to say is Happy Valentine's Day to my mother. I have an awesome mother. People around the world should be as lucky as I am. I rail against the bankers, but she was a banker. She was a retail banker, so not the investment type, the Lloyd Blankfein and Jamie Dimon types. She was more the Bailey types from It's a Wonderful Life, George Bailey type. She started as a teller, worked her way up to management, like executive level management. Ran a bunch of branches in New York City. I get my work ethic, a lot of it from her. So thank you, Mom, for all that you did for me growing up and all the sacrifices. And I hope you had an excellent Valentine's Day. I know you were out delivering flowers, and I hope you had a great day. Love you. And for everybody else, I love you guys as well. Happy Valentine's Day. And don't believe the myths. Look into the money supply. And I'll be seeing you guys soon. All right. Bye.